And it went like Tiana, Khadijah, Lenny, Carvel, him, her, him, bodies, 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 bodies. Yo YouTube, how we doing? How we been? Today I am gonna be talking about The Incredibles and how it's a certified hood classic. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So to kick things off, we got a police chase, but bro, how are none of these niggas hitting any shots? This might be worse than Stormtrooper aim, but hold on, I gotta say this now. The NPCs in this movie, their skill level might be worse than Coi Leray's rapping skills. She was told to freestyle, but instead she started twerking. It's that bad. But you'll see what I'm talking about later on. So we see Mr. Incredible hears about the chase, so he's ready to make some shit shake. So he has an Iron Man level suit up. Like, look at this shit. Bro is too clean. Even the car got its own suit up. We have to realize that this shit is in the 60s. Who you know got it like that back then? But then this old woman had to have had a death wish, cause she walks in the middle of the street and brake checked the shit out of Mr. Incredible. A nigga like me would not have stopped in time, I'm just saying. Grandma would have been looking like plankton out there. But she stopped Mr. Incredible just so she could get her cat down.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
You don't know how fast I would have been out of there after she said that shit. Wasting my time on this fine evening for this bullshit? Hell nah. But at the same time, the police chase is coming right where he is, so he's telling this cat to hurry the hell up. So it finally fell off, and he literally uses the tree to stop him. Was he trying to catch a body? Because this is actually insane. Like, the fact that they're not dead is appalling. They at least gotta have 100 broken bones and fractures after that shit. But, you know, I guess it is what it is. So after saving the day, he hops back in his whip, and this random kid is in there calling himself Incrediboy.
Boy, if you don't.
So basically, he's just Mr. Incredible's #1 glazer. But I can't lie, this is how I imagine all the LeBron glazers on TikTok looks like. Straight nerds and geeks. But Mr. Incredible wasn't hearing him out at all and told him,
Get the fuck out of here, little nigga.
and ejected him out of his car. So we cut to Mr. Incredible ready to give this robber a beat down. But he gets snubbed and we see Elastigirl. Now, when I was a child, I absolutely needed all of that. Pixar knew exactly what they was doing with her. Helen is too damn bad. Dr. Umar, I'm sorry, but I absolutely would. But they just over here flirting with each other. And I never noticed this when I was younger, but they some little freaks, bruh. But I cannot blame Mr. Incredible. Like, do you see her? But then we see this dude literally trying to off himself. But Mr. Incredible long jumps and catches him while tackling him through a building. But not even a minute later, Mr. Incredible hears something on the other side of the wall, and there's an explosion, and Bon Voyage walks in like he's that guy. Like, no, I'm not putting you in no edit, little bro. But Buddy pulls back up, and he's yapping about how he can be a sidekick and how he can be a hero without having powers. But then Bon Voyage puts a bomb on him while he's leaving. Like, bro, this is insane. Bro is trying to murk this literal kid. They got no remorse in this universe. But Mr. Incredible tracked him down and got the bomb off of him, and it landed on some train tracks, and then a train comes through at the exact same moment. That's some terrible ass timing. But he sprinted over there and caught that shit. I know he felt like Tobey Maguire in that moment. So he saved the day and dipped to go to his wedding, and we see that he's marrying Elastigirl.
Let's go home! Let's go home!
Nigga saving the city, and then he gets to go home to some fine shit. Literally nothing could go wrong.
In a stunning turn of events, a superhero is being sued.
Damn! So a nigga didn't want to be saved, so he sued Mr. Incredible, and a whole bunch of other heroes started getting sued. So now they cannot put the mask back on. This is some real shit. 21 years ago, and they were talking about these type of topics. Brad Bird is that guy. But we skip to 15 years later, and we see that Mr. Incredible now works at an insurance care. Bro, I would be so pissed if I had literal powers, and every day I had to work a 9 to 5 just to waste a day time. But we get introduced to Dash, and we see that lil bro got super speed. Nigga couldn't even get caught on a camera. But I will say, if that was nowadays, bro would be absolutely cooked.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
And then after that, we meet Violet, and basically she has the powers of Invisible Woman. So then we get to see the family dynamic, and Bob is proud of Dash for not getting caught, while Helen is pretty upset. Then Dash started egging Violet about her little crush on Tony, so then they got to squabbling. So Violet tackled Dash, and then he started sprinting around the table, but Violet slams this nigga with a force field, and then they got to scrapping under the table. And then we see that a former hero Gazer Beam is missing, and Bob is confused, but then he walks in, and his intervening is just picking up the table. Like, bro, did he really think that shit was gonna stop anything? But then they got interrupted by Frozone, and let me just say it now, this nigga is the GOAT. He is just too cold.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So Bob and Lucius go out to go bowling, but them niggas was lying. They're still out there trying to do some superhero work. But then there's a fire, and they're helping everyone get out, and then Bob smashes through the wall and causes the whole building to crash down. And then to make matters worse, they fell into a jewelry store, so it looks like they're robbers. And of course, the cop starts going after the black dude first. Coincidence? I think not, but we've all seen this scene before.
Alright, had your drink. Now, I want you to...
I know. Free.
Yes, sir! This nigga's spitting.
So then we get introduced to Mirage, and she's stalking Bob and Lucius. So then Bob gets home, and Helen is waiting for him like a mom that knows their child snuck out. And then they just got to arguing about the glory days and mediocrity, and the whole house could hear about it. Niggas was yelling at the top of their lungs. And then we cut to Bob talking with his boss, and Bob sees someone getting mugged, and he wants to help them, of course, but his boss says that he will literally fire him if he helps him. Like, is that not crazy? But Bob reacts in the worst way possible and tries to off this guy. Like, you can't tell me throwing him through 10 walls ain't trying to commit homicide. Is he really a hero? But of course he gets fired, and while he's at home, he sees a tablet, and it's a video telling him that he can get paid for being a hero once again. And Unk got happy as hell. He gets to relive his glory days. So he lies to Helen about getting fired, which, I mean, I won't say it's a terrible thing considering what he's doing, but there's still no need to lie. So Mirage explains to Bob that he has to fight this robot called an Omnidroid, which basically is taking over this island. So my GOAT, Mr. Incredible, is ready to get back in action, but he's been taking that dad bod entirely too serious. This nigga cannot fit. Out there looking like Dave Blunts. Been eating too many cheeseburgers. My GOAT is washed. But while he's looking for ChatGPT, it pops out of nowhere, and he leaves twice, then gets scratched, and he jumps over the bot and sends it flying. But it got to stepping and smacked my GOAT into a tree, and then chased him down, and then it just starts throwing rocks at him. Got some mean Stormtrooper aim, but it finally hits a shot, and now this nigga is about to get pushed into some lava, my lord. But he reversed it and pushed it in. But while bro was celebrating, he hurt his back. Unk is getting too old, but the bot picked him up and slammed him and then tried to give him the conquest treatment, but that actually helped his back. So he pulled its claw off and then pulled its head off, and then he jumped inside, and the bot just starts friendly firing itself and then pulled its own circuit out. My GOAT is officially back. Yes, sir. But the man up top invites him to dinner, and Mirage comes walking through some damn lava. Is that shit fake? Cause would that not be like extremely hot to be that close to? I mean, whatever, I guess. But at the dinner, Mirage is explaining that there's gonna be more assignments that Mr. Incredible can get, and he's making some bread from this shit, so you know he's happy. And then we get one of the best scenes in the movie. My boy Bob is enjoying life again. Like, listen to this bot, bro. So Bob is working out again and losing weight so he can get back into that superhero shape. He was tired of looking like Queso. So he pulls up on the real best character, Edna. She's that nigga for real. She's the one that creates the hero suits, and Bob wants his suit to be fixed. But Edna thinks that shit is trash, so she wants to create him a new one, but she don't want no capes because a whole bunch of past heroes got packed up because of it. This shit is actually dark when you think about it. This shit probably gives Edna PTSD because she knows the exact dates when all of these heroes passed on. So Mirage has another assignment for Bob, but Helen overhears it and now she thinks Bob is having an affair and that he's lying. So while she's cleaning, she sees that Bob's suit got fixed by Edna, so she's about to go and pull up on her. But Bob is in this conference room and then the bot comes back for round 2 and it's way better than before. Bro been putting in work in the off season. But then we get introduced to the Pixar GOAT villain, Syndrome aka Buddy. So he starts yapping about how he makes weapons and sells them, but Bob throws a tree at him, but he weaves it and Syndrome pulls out the 0-point energy. I know y'all remember that shit in Disney Infinity. I used to spam that shit in the game all the time. But Syndrome is just throwing Bob all over the place. And then he jumps off a waterfall. And Syndrome throws a bomb down there to try and off him. But he luckily gets away and sees Gazer Beam Skeleton. That nigga got done dirty as hell. But Syndrome really thinks he offed him. Look at this damn smirk. He thinks he's doing the Lord's work. So Helen pulled up on Edna, and she's showing all the suits that she made for the family. But Helen is realizing that Bob is lying to her about what he's been doing, and on that cue, we see Bob stealthing around the island, and then he packed up these 2 guys driving, and then once again, Bob commits homicide.
My nigga. Chill.
You can't tell me he ain't trying to off these guys. But my guy Bob is out there moving like Agent 47. How is this big ass nigga this stealthy? It's not fair. Imagine if Raw Wave could quietly sneak around and steal food. That would just be insane. So he picks up a Moyai to get the lava sensors to work. But Mirage is walking through. But how in the hell did she not see him? Is she Stevie Wonder? But he sprints through like Usain Bolt, so he doesn't look like how Mike Guy was looking. So we see that Helen finds out that Bob is lying about what he's been doing, and then we see that every super has been getting packed up by Syndrome, and it went like Tiana, Khadijah, Lenny, Carvel, him, her, him, bodies. But these niggas is basically extinct now. It's literally just the family in Frozone. And then we see that Syndrome's plan is to send the Omni Droid to the city to fuck shit up. But when Bob is leaving, Helen uses the tracker and it sets off the alarm.
Broke nigga alert. Broke nigga alert.
Is it talking about me?
Broke nigga
I think so, my nigga.
And Bob gets fucked up by some black balls.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But Helen is crying and shit about Bob lying, but Edna reminds her who the fuck she is, and she tells her to go get her man back and beat the bitch's ass that he cheating with. So Dash and Violet see the suits, and then we see that Helen can fly a damn jet. How much better can this girl get? My lord! But then we cut back to Syndrome asking Bob about the tracker, but he literally doesn't know about it. And then Syndrome hears that Helen is coming to the island, and he literally sends rockets to her. This nigga is literally insane. So we see that the kid snuck on the jet, but Helen sees the rockets coming after her, and she's trying her best to juke them shits. It's like in GTA when you trying your hardest to juke them oppressor rockets. Shit was literally hell. But Helen wants Violet to make a force field, but she's choking under pressure. She's out there looking like Embiid. But don't worry, Helen clutched up. She's her for real. And Bob thinks his entire family is dead, and he tries to bluff Syndrome by murking Mirage, but he ain't had the heart to do it. So the family heads towards the island, and Hella goes to find Bob. So while she's sneaking through, she gets her leg stuck, and she tries to get a key card, but gets stuck again, and then the guard sees her, but she punches him and throat chops the other. Then the guard rolls back up, and she elbowed him into the wall. But the guard closes her arm in, but that don't work. So she still knocks him out. And then a guard sees her leg, but these other guards trip over her. Shit is a little cartoon scene. These guys gotta be missing something in their brains. But she kicks the guard, and he starts spraying, and it opens the door, and she smashes into the other guards.
What's all that movement back there?
I need it! So Syndrome launches the rocket while Dash is snooping around, and a big ass fire comes through, but luckily he got them out of there, and now the Omni Droid is off to the city. So we cut to the kids waking up, and this bird gets to snitching on them, and now the guards are coming after him. Then Mirage lets Bob go, and he was about to pack her up, but she tells him that his family's alive and on the island. So he hugs her, and then Helen walks in at that exact moment. Shit is just awkward. So she decks Mirage, and Bob explains very quickly that he would never betray her. There is no way you could fumble that. Shit will be generational. So the guards catch up to the kids, so Violet goes invisible and Dash sprints out of there. So we get another top scene of Dash running from the guards. When I was a kid, I wanted to be this nigga so bad, but he's sprinting away like Raw Wave when he hears an ice cream truck, and then he swings on a vine juking them niggas, but he weaves another guard and got to step in again, and then he swung on another vine into the sky, but he falls on the guard's flying thingy. But Dash says weave,
Close your eyes, girl.
Put a smile on my nigga's face, looking like Flight when he sees Curry. But the job's not finished. So he came back in with a weave, bop, bop, weave, bop, weave, eat these nigga, bop. My nigga Dash is locked in. Bro put on a masterclass of hands. But Dash gets punched off and then the guard offs himself. But Dash luckily caught a vine on the way down and he started celebrating like he just won game 7. He couldn't believe he was alive. But the guards heard him and the chase continues. So he jumps on a tree and catapults it, and friendly fire was definitely on because one of the guards broke it onto the other, and then the other guard got done even more dirty. Nigga had no chance of survival. But Dash still got guards on his ass and he's about to run in the water. But then we see this nigga can run on water too. That's what I'm talking about. But the guards start rapid firing, but they got some stormtrooper aim. And even one of them just flies into a rock. Like I said earlier, these NPCs are absolute trash. Where did Sinjom find these niggas? But they continue to miss everything and Dash jukes this guy, but the other guy was ready for that. So he's about to get sandwiched, but he just goes underwater and they murk themselves. The guards just put up an absolute shit show. It's worse than Kyle Kuzma. So this guard starts up and pole on Violet, but she hits him 3 times with a stick and he trips her and immediately started firing again. And of course he misses every shot. These guards are so terrible. But he saw where she was and he was about to send her to meet Kobe, but Dash came through and started putting his paws on him. But he got cooked and he was about to get put down like a dog, but Violet jumped in the way with a force field. But hold on, Violet did not know she could do that, so she was literally going to sacrifice herself for him. That's some real shit right there. But they get out of there and catch 2 more bodies on the way, and then they ran into their parents. But they didn't even have the time to enjoy each other because they immediately got to boxing. Helen kicks him out of the UFO and Bob punches one down. Then Helen picks up a guard to throw him into another, and then Bob murders another guard.
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, bro. But more guards come in, so they get in their superhero pose, and while Violet is blocking the shots, Helen comes in with a double hit and kick. Then Bob knocks a nigga out, and then Sinjo came in like, yo, you married Elastigirl? I used to goon to that shit all the time. Whoa! And you got busy. Oh, this is just too good. So we see that ChatGPT landed and Syndrome is saying that he'll be the best hero when he saves everyone and he'll sell his invention so everyone can be super. And then he says,
and when everyone's super, no one will be.
So Bob apologizes for being a mid-dad and thinking about the glory days more than his kids. But Violet was trying to get out of there, so she had to cut it short. So Bob sees these guards enjoying life and he quickly put it into it. So the bot is fucking shit up and is about to put it into this woman and her child, but Syndrome comes in and saves them.
I knew it was fake. I knew it. I knew it.
And he's putting on a Mysterio level performance, but ChatGPT caught on to the nonsense and shot his remote off, and Syndrome got easily packed up. But the family is flying in and they are the most reckless drivers I've ever seen. This is literally the UGA player experience. But Bob wanted to go in alone because he didn't want to lose Helen again, but with the power of love, they are gonna start cooking. So the bot is about to pack up the kids. It literally put Violet to sleep, but Bob caught it. Then he got picked up and thrown into a building like Superman did. But Bob comes in like Ray Lewis and tackles it down, and the real nigga Frozone shows up. And he's freezing the bot up, but he got thrown to the side. Then Bob did as well, but he realizes he has Syndrome's remote. But like a dumbass, he says it out loud, so the bot smashed him. Pause. But he causes the bot's arm to fall off, and then like Mahomes, he launches the remote to Dash and he caught up to it and caught it, but the bot is spraying him. So Helen turns on that aimbot and takes out his shooter. So then Frozone got Dash, so the bot turned into a bowling ball and started hawking them down, and then it jumped 100 feet in the air and landed on them, but Frozone clutched up and saved Dash.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss.
So Bob sees the remote, but the bot said nope and got him the fuck up out of there. Then Frozone and Helen teamed up and tripped it, but we see that Violet has the remote, but she's dodging everything like Muhammad Ali. And then she just starts button mashing and makes it fly into a building. Then Bob realizes that the only thing that can stop the bot is itself. So Frozone starts distracting it while they find the perfect shot, and Bob flew it straight into its own circuit and it blows up and they save the city. Other than the millions of dollars in damage they caused, but you know, It happens, I guess. But Syndrome wakes up and that nigga is pissed off. So while the family is driving home, Helen hears the babysitter's calls and she hears that there's a replacement sitter and they just bust through the door and it's Syndrome. How in the world did he get there that fast? But he just starts yapping about how he's gonna be such a great mentor to Jack Jack, unlike Mr. Incredible was for him. So he flies through the ceiling, but Jack Jack was not going for that shit. So he turns into Human Torch, then he turned into Metal and he made it hard as hell for Syndrome to fly. And then he turned into a damn beast and broke his rocket boots and that caused Jack Jack to fall. So Bob threw Helen and she caught him, but Syndrome starts babbling about how he's gonna steal Jack Jack eventually. So this nigga Mr. Incredible threw his car at him and then his cape got caught in the engine. Do you understand how gruesome this shit is for a kids movie? My lord. But while the debris is falling, Violet actually clutches up this time and saves the family.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So to wrap things up, I don't care what y'all say, this is the best Pixar movie by far. And not just that, it's one of the greatest superhero movies and also one of the greatest animated movies of all time. Shit is just absolute cinema. But if you care to, it would be greatly appreciated if you guys comment down below some video ideas and I just might do it. Also, thank you for all of the support over the last few videos. Y'all are absolutely insane and I love all of you. I am so close to 100 subscribers and I can't thank y'all enough for it. But that's all I got for today. Peace.